Hello students, welcome to the maths class. Today in this video I am going to explain exercise 2C and exercise 2D of compound interest without using formula. In this exercise you will study more about compound interest. What is this more about compound interest? I will tell you. Students, suppose that you are having CI of 2 consecutive years. CI of 2 consecutive years. Consecutive years means, as I told you, consecutive means in order. So CI of first year and CI of second year, or CI of second year and CI of third year, or CI of third year and CI of fourth year, and so on. So these are the consecutive years: first and second, second and third, third and fourth, and so on. So these are the consecutive years. Suppose that CI of first year, you are having rupees 100, and CI of second year you are having rupees 110. Okay, so you know very well CI of second year is more than CI of first year, and CI of third year is more than CI of second year. You know very well. In last exercise you have studied this thing. So CI of first year you are having 100 rupees, CI of second year 110 rupees. So what is the difference between these two CIs? So if you find the difference, so it will come 110 minus 100, it will be rupees 10. Now what is this 10? This 10 rupees difference is the interest on rupees 100 for 1 year. This is the new thing for you for this exercise. One more time I am telling to you, difference of CI of any 2 consecutive years. One more time I am telling to you, difference of CIs of any 2 consecutive years will be the interest of 1 year on preceding compound interest, on preceding CI. So for example, I took here consecutive year, it may be second or third year, maybe it may be first and second year, I told you. So I have taken here first and second year. First year compound interest 100 rupees, second year compound interest 110 rupees, difference is 10 rupees. So this 10 rupees is the interest of 1 year on rupees 100, not on rupees 110. I told you interest on the compound interest of preceding year. This difference will be the interest on the CI of preceding year. So preceding year is first year. So on the CI of first year, this difference of rupees 10 will be the interest of 1 year. This 10 rupees will be the interest of 1 year. So like this, some questions I will take. Through those questions you will understand, means this concept will be quite clear. One more time, if it is not clear now, then it will be clear in question. One more time I am telling to you, one more thing I am telling to you. Suppose in the same way, amount of 1 year you are having, suppose 1000 rupees. Amount of second year, it is the amount of first year. Amount of second year you are having 1100, suppose that. So difference you will find 1100 minus 1000, so it will be 100 rupees. So again, in the same way I am telling to you, this difference of amounts of 2 consecutive years, this difference of amounts of 2 consecutive years will be the interest of 1 year on the amount of preceding year. On the amount of preceding year means on the amount of this first year. So this 100 rupees is the interest of 1 year on 1000 rupees. This 100 rupees is the interest of 1 year on 1000 rupees. Now some questions from exercise 2C I am going to take to clear the concept. And exercise 2D is the miscellaneous exercise. Means in this exercise the questions which you have studied in exercise 2A, 2B and 2C, same type questions you will get in exercise 2D. The questions which you have studied in exercise 2A, 2B and today in 2C I will tell you. So such type of questions you will get in exercise 2D. So after completing exercise 2C, you will do exercise 2D yourself because it is miscellaneous exercise. So first of all, some questions from exercise 2C I am taking. You see here. You can see question number 3, exercise 2C is written. Question number 3 I am taking. A certain sum amounts to rupees 5292 means 5292 in 2 years and 5556.60 in 3 years, interest being compounded annually. Find the rate of interest and the original sum. First of all, students, you have to understand what is given in the question. Here it is given some certain sum is there, means we don't know here what is the principal, but whatever principal it is, that become 5292 in 2 years, means amount of that principal after 2 years it is 5292, and amount of the same principal after 3 years it is 5556.60. So amount in 2 years is given, amount in 3 years is given. So amount in 2 years, amount in 3 years, it means that amount of 2 consecutive years is given. So you will find their difference. Just before I told you the concept, so you can see here I have written amount in 2 years 5292, amount in 3 years 5556.60. So difference between the amounts, amount in 3 years minus amount in 2 years, so it is coming 264 rupees 60 paise. So this difference is the interest of 1 year on rupees 5292, on rupees 5292 on the amount of preceding year I told you. So you can see here interest for 1 year on rupees 5292 is equal to 264.60. Now you have to calculate rate of interest. What is the rate? So you can see how can you find rate of interest. For rate of interest formula you know very well, 100 into I upon P into R, sorry P into T. I have written here 100 into I upon P into T. 100 into interest is 264.60. I told you this difference will be the interest of 1 year on rupees 5292. So on rupees 5292, so this will be the principal. So that's why in place of P I have written 5292 and in place of T I have written 1 year because it is the interest of 1 year I have written here. So with the help of this formula when you calculate, so you will get 5% per annum. You will get 5% per annum. So this is the required rate of interest. Second part, what is second part? Original sum of money you have to find. Let original sum of money be rupees X, you suppose. When it is rupees X, then for first year, principal will be X rupees. Rate of interest you calculated 5%. And first year means 1 year. So interest will come PRT upon 100. Put the values, you will calculate x upon 20. X upon 20 is the interest of first year. So amount will be principal plus interest. So x plus x by 20. So amount is becoming 21x by 20. 21x by 20. This amount will be the principal for next year, you know very well. So for second year, so this amount is principal 21x upon 20, rate 5% again, T 1 year. Calculate interest. Interest PRT upon 100, P is 21x upon 100, sorry 21x upon 20, multiplied by rate is 5, multiplied by time is 1, upon 100 is already in formula. So after simplifying you are getting 21x upon 400. This is the interest of second year. Now amount will be P plus I. Principal 21x upon 20, you can see this is the principal 21x upon 20. So 21x upon 20 principal, interest of second year 21x upon 400. By simplifying you are getting 441x upon 400. 441x upon 400. So this is the amount of second year. But you know very well in the question it is given. I have written here, but according to question, amount of second year is 5292. According to question, amount of second year is 5292. So according to you, amount of second year is 441x upon 400. So both will be equal. 441x upon 400 equals 5292. Now you calculate. X will be 5292 multiplied by 400 upon 441. Reciprocal of the fraction you will take to other side. And by simplifying you are getting 4800. So this is the original sum of money. What was X? Original sum. So first part was rate of interest 5% per annum. You calculated in first part. And second part was original sum of money. Original sum of money is 4800. So now question number 6 you can see. Geeta borrowed rupees 15,000 for 18 months at a certain rate of interest compounded semi-annually. Semi-annually means half yearly. I told you. Semi-annually means half yearly. So this time compound interest will be calculated after each half year. Compound interest will be calculated after each half year, not after 1 year, after each half year. If at the end of 6 months it amounted to 15,600, calculate the rate of interest per annum. And second part, total amount of money that Geeta must pay at the end of 18 months in order to clear the account. Means after 18 months how much Geeta will pay so that account will be cleared. Account will be cleared. And in first part rate of interest you have to find. So in the same way as you have done previous question, you will do solution. Money borrowed 15,000. Money borrowed means principal. How much you are borrowing money or how much you are lending money, that will be the starting principal. Amount after 6 months it is given 15,600. So difference of amount and principal, you know very well, interest. Interest of 6 months is 15,600 minus 15,600. So this 600 is the interest of 6 months. 6 months means first half year. 6 months means first half year. And on which amount it is? On 15,000. 600 is the interest of first half year on 15,000. So calculate rate of interest. Apply the same formula, 100 into I upon P into T. 100 is same, interest is 600, principal is 15,000, and this time is 1 upon 2 year. Pay attention here. Time you have to take 1 upon 2 year. Why you have to take 1 upon 2 year? Because it is the case of semi-annually. Interest is calculated half yearly. So 1 upon 2 year, you simplify it. So 60 into 2 upon 15, 8% per annum. So 8% per annum is the rate of interest. It is the first part. Now second part you can see. In second part you have to find amount after 18 months which Geeta will pay to clear the account. So for first half year, principal is 15,000, it is given. Amount is also given after first half year, 15,600, it is given in the question. So this amount of first half year will be the principal for second half year. So that's why I have taken for second half year, principal is 15,600, rate is 8%, time is 1 upon 2 year, because half year means 1 upon 2 year. So interest you calculate 15,600 multiplied by 8, rate you have calculated, rate of interest you have calculated 8%, time is 1 upon 2 year, 100 is already in formula. So after simplifying 624 you are getting. This 624 is the interest of second half year. So amount of second half year, it will be 15,600 plus 624, 16,224. 16,224 is the amount at the end of second half year. At the end of second half year you can say, or you can say amount at the end of 12 months is 16,224. Now for third half year, this amount will become principal for third half year. So principal is 16,224, rate again 8%, time 1 upon 2 year. So interest you calculate 16,224 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 1 upon 2 upon 100. So it is coming after simplifying 648.96, 648 rupees 96 paise. So this is the interest of third half year. So it means that amount of third half year or amount at the end of 18 months. So required amount to clear the account I have written. Required amount to clear the account. So amount at the end of 18 months will be the required amount. Amount at the end of 18 months will be the required amount to clear the account. So amount at the end of 18 months 16,224 plus 648.96, 16,872.96. So to clear the account, Geeta must pay 16,872 rupees 96 paise. One more time I am telling to you, to clear the account, Geeta must pay 16,872.96 rupees. Now question number 9 you can see what is given in the 9th question. The cost of machine depreciated by 4,000 during first year and by 3,600 during second year. Calculate the rate of depreciation, the original cost of machine, its cost at the end of third year. In last exercise, one question of such type you have studied, and it is the application of compound interest. I told you that time also, if cost of machine depreciates with the same rate every year or appreciates with the same rate every year, then with the help of compound interest, with the help of you can say simple interest formula, you can calculate the value of machine or cost of machine after every year. So depreciation means, I told you, decrement, decrease, and appreciation means increase. Depreciation means decrease, appreciation means increase. So this is the application of compound test, means what method you are applying to calculate compound test. Same method you can apply to calculate the value of machine after every year, after first year, after second year, after third year. One more time I am telling to you about this application. You keep in the mind, suppose cost of machine, or you can say population, they increase every year with the same rate, or they decrease every year with the same rate, then after first year what will be the cost, after second year what will be the cost, you can calculate with the help of the method which you use in calculating compound interest. So you can see here now solution. Depreciation during first year is 4000, depreciation during second year is 3600. So this depreciation you can think in the mind, this is the compound interest of first year, this is the compound interest of second year. So difference of compound interest you will calculate. So that's why I have taken depreciation of 1 year on 4000 rupees. As in case of compound interest you take difference of two consecutive compound interest is the interest of first year, interest of 1 year on the preceding compound interest. In the same way you will take depreciation of 1 year on rupees 4000, it will be 4000 minus 3600, 400 rupees. So this is the depreciation of 1 year on 4000 rupees on the depreciation of preceding year, on the depreciation of preceding year. So rate of depreciation, as you were calculating rate of interest, in the same way rate of depreciation 100 into I is 400, P is 4000, T is 1 year. 100 into I upon P into T. 100 into I is 400, P is 4000 rupees, T is 1 year, 10% per annum. So this is the rate of depreciation per annum. Now you have to find in second part original cost of machine. So original cost of machine you can take as X. Let the original cost of machine be X. So what will be the cost after 1 year? So depreciation during first year you find. Depreciation PRT upon 100, that formula will apply. Here machine value is X rupees and rate of depreciation is 10 and T is 1 year upon 100 is already in formula. So it is coming X by 10. Original cost you have taken X, depreciation during first year you are finding X by 10 rupees, but in the question it is given depreciation 4000 rupees of first year. During first year it is given depreciation during first year is 4000 rupees. So that's why I have written according to question X by 10 equals 4000 rupees. So X equals 40,000. So this is the original cost of machine. This is the original cost of machine. Now you have to find cost of machine after 3 years. So I have written here, you can see cost of machine after 2 years. Original cost was 40,000. Depreciation of first year 4,000. Depreciation of second year 3,600. So depreciation of 2 years, first and second year, 4,000 plus 3,600. This is the depreciation of 2 years. Now this depreciation of 2 years, when you subtract from the original cost of machine, so then you will get cost of machine after 2 years. Original cost minus depreciation of 2 years equals cost of machine after 2 years. So 32,400. Now this cost of machine after 2 years will become the principal for third year. So you can see for third year cost of machine 32,400. So depreciation of third year on this principal you will calculate 32,400 into 10 into 1 upon 100. So it will come 3,240. So cost of machine at the end of third year, it will be 32,400 minus 3,240, 29,160 rupees. So this is the cost of machine after 3 years. This is the cost of machine after 3 years. Now last question of this exercise, you see 12th question. A man borrows rupees 10,000 at 10% compound interest compounded yearly. Compounded yearly means interest is calculated after every year. At the end of each year, he pays 20% amount off for that year. How much money is left unpaid just after 2 years? What is given in the question? First of all, man is borrowing 10,000 rupees, means starting principal is 10,000 rupees. And rate of interest is 10% per annum, it is given. Interest is calculated yearly. After every year, it will be calculated. Now, at the end of each year, he is paying some money. How much money he is paying? 20% of the amount of that year. Means, suppose after first year, what will be the amount? For that amount, 20% he is paying back. So you see the solution. What I am saying. For first year, principal is 10,000, rate is 10%, time is 1 year. So interest of first year will come PRT upon 100, 10,000 into 10 into 1 upon 100, 1,000 rupees. So amount of first year is, amount at the end of first year, 10,000 plus 1,000, 11,000, 11,000 rupees. So this is the amount of first year, at the end of first year. From this amount, he is paying 20%. 20% of this amount, of the same amount. So money repaid, that's why I have written money repaid 20% of 11,000. So 20% of 11,000 is coming 2,200. So after first year, 2,200 is paying. So balance, what will be the balance? 11,000 minus 2,200, 8,800. So this is the balance, and this balance will be the principal for next year. Next year means second year. So you can see for second year, principal is 8,800, rate is 10%, time is 1 year. Interest will be PRT upon 100. So P is 8,800, R is 10, time is 1 upon 100. After simplifying, rupees 880 you are getting. So this is the interest of second year. After this amount at the end of second year, principal plus interest, 8,800 plus 880, 9,680. This is the amount at the end of second year. Again, he is repaying some money. How much? 20% of this amount. It is said in the question. 20% of 9,680. So it is coming 1,936. 1,936. So what is the balance? 9,680 minus 1,936. 7,744. 7,744. This is the balance after second year. Keep in mind, this is the balance after second year. So what was the question? Question was, you can see how much money is left unpaid after second year. After second year, how much you have to pay. So this is the balance after second year. You can see after second year, 7,744. So required money left unpaid, 7,744. 7,744 is the required money left unpaid after second year. So these were the questions from exercise 5C. So students, you have studied 3 exercises, 5A, 5B and 5C. Sorry, exercise 2A, 2B, 2C. You have studied exercise 2A, 2B, 2C. By mistake I said 5A, 5B, 5C. It is not 5A, 5B, 5C. It is 2A, 2B and 2C. So 3 exercise questions we have explained in the videos. 4th exercise is miscellaneous exercise, means 2D is miscellaneous exercise. Remaining questions of exercise 2C and questions of exercise 2D you can do now. If you have any problem, then you can ask. I will clear your doubts. Now, one important information I am going to give you. What is that important information? Student, this is the last week of online teaching before summer vacations. This is the last week of online teaching before summer vacations. After this week, your summer vacations will start. So we can say this is the last video of maths before vacations. This is the last video of maths before vacations, summer vacations. So it is the time to give you holidays homework. So generally, project work is given in maths as holidays homework. Generally, project work is given in maths as holidays homework. So I'm going to give you maths project as holidays homework. So what project you have to make and in what way you have to make, I'm going to explain you. You see here, I have written here class 9th maths project. So it is your holidays homework. You see here, what is the topic? Topic is compound interest. On compound interest, you have to make your project of maths. On compound interest, you have to make maths project. What is the objective of this project? What is the objective of this project? I have written here. You can see, I'm reading. Procedure of calculating CI by 3 different banks in their FD account and comparison of compound interest given in FD account by 2 banks with example. So what is the objective of this project? You have to see what is the procedure of calculating compound interest by 3 different banks. Means you can go to 3 different banks and you can ask to the bank manager what is the procedure of calculating compound interest in the FD account. What is the procedure of calculating compound interest in the FD account? Any 3 bank you can select. You can go to Punjab National Bank, you can go to SBI State Bank of India, you can go to BOI Bank of India, you can go to HDFC Bank, no matter. In any 3 bank, in 3 different bank, you can see what is the procedure of calculating compound interest in the FD account. And after getting this information, after getting this procedure, you have to give one example in which you will make the comparison of compound interest of 2 banks out of 3 banks which you have seen, which you have in which you have gone. So out of these 3 banks, comparison of compound interest of any 2 banks you can take in your example. Comparison of compound interest of any 2 banks you can take in your example. So this is the objective of this project. Second thing, what you are going to include in this project, you can see here. I have written here, points to be included in this project are: first is acknowledgement. First page will be acknowledgement page. Second page, contents. You have contents you have to write. Third page, introduction, means third point introduction will be there. Fourth point, compound interest. What is compound interest? You will take the help of book, or you can take the help of net. You can take the help of books of different writers. You can take the help of books of different writers, and you can take the help of net also. What is compound interest? Types of bank accounts. Fixed deposit account. How many types of bank accounts are there? What is fixed deposit account? 7th point, computation of compound interest in FD account. So how to compute the CI in FD account, that you have to write. Computation of CI by 3 different banks. So according to different bank, it may be different. Computation of compound interest may be different. In some bank, maybe it is half yearly. Compound interest is calculated half yearly in some banks. In some banks, compound interest is calculated yearly. So this may be the difference. So that's why I have written what is the general method of computation of compound interest in FD account, and what is the method of calculating compound interest by three different bank, which you will see. Ninth point, example for comparison of compound interest of two banks I told you. So one example you are going to give. 10th, bibliography. 10th, bibliography. In bibliography, you will include the books from which you have taken the help, or the persons from which you have taken the help. You will give the reference of all the sources by which you are making this project. You will give the reference of all the sources, or all the sources with the help of which you are making this project. So this is bibliography. So this is your project of maths as holidays homework. So students, if you have any doubt in the project, then you can ask. You have any doubt in the exercise question, then you can ask. I will clear your doubts. So students, thank you, have a nice day and happy holidays.